Worcestershire captain Daryl Mitchell starred as he scored 100, took 1 wicket and produced a run out to see his side surprise Sussex by beating them by 91 runs at the BrightonandHoveJobs.com county ground in the Yorkshire Bank 40 competition. Mitchell's day started well when he won the toss, but batting first he lost his opening partner Moeen Ali in the first over, bowled on the reverse sweep for 3. That was hardly what Mitchell would have wanted, but he and Alexei Kavesi made steady progress through the power play overs against a Sussex side who've been beaten semi-finalists in the 40-over competition in the last 2 seasons. They would have been happy with the way things were going for them when Kavesi came down the pitch but missed the ball from Michael Rippon and was easily stumped by Ben Brown. Worcestershire's victory was set up by 2 of their more experienced players, Mitchell and Tilan Samarawira. They worked the ball around well to keep the score moving in the right direction. Halfway through their innings, they carried the total to 109 for 2, which had given them an ideal platform for an assault in the second 20 overs. Mitchell reached his 50 in the 21st over. It hadn't been a particularly expansive innings, but it was a very worthy one for his team, a team which finished bottom of their group last year. They will have hoped to have learnt things from that. Mitchell used up 55 balls for his half-century, and he now had plenty of overs to turn that into something more meaningful. The partnership between these two was a good one, and it eventually reached 111, which had been made in 18 overs. It was ended when Samarawira was out for 41, sweeping Chris Liddle to Chris Nash at short fine leg. He departed with a total on 160 for 3 in the 27th over. That had moved on to 174 for 3 with 10 overs remaining, and Worcestershire would have been looking for a score in excess of 250, but they soon lost Neil Pinner, who drove James Anyon forcefully to Chris Jordan, who held on to a stunning catch. Gareth Andrew brought out his mongoose and used it to smash Rory Hamilton-Brown for a big 6, as Worcestershire now really went for their shots. Mitchell was now into the 90s, timing his innings to perfection and proving that one-day cricket isn't always about spectacular hitting. He was on 99 when Andrew sliced a hit off Liddle to be caught by Hamilton-Brown on 19 at 220 for 5 with 4.5 overs to go. Mitchell got to his ton next ball. It was his first in a List A game in his 80th appearance going back 9 seasons. It had arrived off 100 balls and had included 8 fours. It had also set up the game nicely for his team, which had not won on this ground in a one-day game for 13 years. Mitchell may have been a little disappointed that his side didn't kick on at the death. Instead, Ben Cox skied Liddle, the pick of the Sussex attack, to Jordan, while Mitchell himself was run out courtesy of a superb piece of footwork from Liddle. Mitchell was out for a runner ball 107. He was swiftly followed back to the pavilion by Michael Johnson, who was bowled by Jordan in the last over. The bowler also rearranging Brett D'Olivera's stumps as Worcestershire finished on 245 for 9, a few fewer than they would have liked, no doubt. But it proved to be more than enough as Sussex lost both openers to the first 19 balls of their reply. Luke Wells chipped Jack Chantry's delivery to Andrew, and Nash found short fine leg instead of the boundary to give David Lucas a wicket, which left Sussex on 16 for 2. That probably meant that the explosive pairing of Hamilton-Brown and Matt Pryor couldn't hit out as they would have liked, instead having to rebuild the innings a little before cutting loose. Pryor had been dropped first ball and was riding his luck a little. He also sold Hamilton-Brown rather short when calling him through for a single which simply wasn't there. Well, not once Pinner's throw from mid-wicket had thumped into the stumps. Pryor would have wanted to put that behind him, but he too was soon out, missing a swipe off Ali and being stumped. The importance of that wicket was evident given the way it was celebrated by the visitors. Everyone knows what a danger man Pryor can be. His wicket had left Sussex in some trouble on 52 for 4 in the 11th over, but with such talented batsmen to come, they wouldn't have given up hope yet, especially with Ed Joyce and Michael Yardy at the crease and finding boundaries. Joyce fell for 27, but Yardy was looking in sublime form, as emphasised by this delightful shot, which carried the distance. But Sussex were left with it all to do when Brown was the 6th man out with a total on 120 in the 24th over, pulling a D'Olivera long hop to Kavesi. So now much relied on Yardy, but when he was unluckily run out backing up by the bowler Mitchell, Sussex were just about out of it. Yardy was gone for a top score of 45 and no one else could match him. Jordan was superbly stumped down the leg side off the bowling of Mitchell. Anyon clubbed a ball from Chantry out to Ali. And the game was over when Liddle was bowled by the left armour. Sussex were all out for 154 in the 32nd over, and Worcestershire were able to celebrate at this ground at last. It had been a very good performance from them, and one which may well make the other sides in this group sit up and take notice. The margin of their success was 91 runs, a big one really, and it represented an ideal start for them in this competition. They now return to championship action against fellow strugglers Leicestershire on Wednesday, while Sussex have a chance to put this defeat behind them next Sunday when they travel to Edgbaston to take on Warwickshire.